All right, everybody, this is the Craig and Kris Show. We've always wanted to do this, and this is where it begins. My name is Craig.
I'm Kris. We got a lot to talk about today. The NFL draft, the NBA playoffs. So let's get right down to it, Craig. NFL draft this weekend, what stands out to you? Who do you think had the best draft?
Absolutely. Well, being from Michigan, I would love to say the Lions. I would. And I think they had a solid draft, but you really have to hand it to the Chiefs on this one. You really do.
The Chiefs had a great draft.
They did.
They had 8 billion picks.
They did. And that helps for a good draft.
Yes, sir.
Not only that, but they had 8 billion picks, but they managed to keep a lot of them. And they kept their own picks, and they used them
in a year
very
where the record was set for the most trades in a draft, they still kept a lot of their picks, and they moved up with a bunch, so they did have a great draft.
They did. 33 trades in this draft?
Yeah, I believe it
was 33 trades, and the old record was 28, and that's quite a bit, actually. It doesn't seem like it, but that is quite a bit.
A team that stands out to me is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
Dropping down to pick up Mendenhall at 20, I believe it was.
23, yes.
23, that's a steal. And then picking up Limas Swede at a low spot in the second round, too. Those are two great players that you got late, so I thought that was great. What about some of the busts, the bad picks? Who made some bad picks?
The bad picks. As much I like the Packers, but I do not think they did a good job. The Packers, I don't understand what they were doing taking Brian Brohm in the second round there. You got a more than competent quarterback. You got a good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He's young. All you're doing by taking Brian Brohm is making him worried. You're getting him concerned. You're showing at the team you don't trust this guy. I don't like that. But
there also adds that element of pressure, and to know that Aaron Rodgers does not have a secure job right now, so Brian Brohm... that will maybe be able to push each other. Who's going to mentor these guys? I don't know now that Brett Favre is gone.
Brett Favre is gone. And that's what I was thinking. Maybe take someone in, bring in a vet quarterback, because Aaron Rodgers has had his mentoring by Brett Favre. Bring in a veteran quarterback for these young guys. But then what do they do in the 7th round? They go out and pick up Matt Flynn from LSU. I don't understand that, because now you got 3 guys, all of them with less than 4 years, 2 of them rookies, and they're probably going to be your 3 quarterbacks. Either you're going to have to cut a roster spot somewhere else to get a veteran quarterback, or hope you have a really good quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see if they get off to a slow start, if we'll be seeing number 4 back in uniform for the Packers. He's hinted at it.
Yes, he has.
So that would be interesting. He's already on the cover of Madden 09.
Which means he shouldn't come back, because that's a curse.
Yes, sir, it is. So.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's get down and talk about the best part of the draft, and that's the Detroit Lions pick.
Of course.
So,
of course it is.
How do you feel about Gosder Cherilus with the number 1 pick? It was a right tackle was a position that needed to be dressed, and I know a lot of fans would have loved to see Mendenhall picked there. Maybe Jeff Ota could have been picked if he was available. Why does Gosder Cherilus fit this offense?
I know. I was watching the draft with you, and we're sitting there, and we're at number 17, and Mendenhall's still on the board, and we're ready. And they say, Gosder Cherilus, offensive tackle, Boston College. And I know a lot of people looked at each other and go, who the heck is that? We looked at each other like, what the heck are they doing? But then you look at what they did in the draft. They go outside linebacker, Jordan Dizon, who's going to play middle linebacker for us.
Right.
And then in the 3rd round, they go get Kevin Smith. All he did last year was rush for almost 2,600 yards. Almost break the record of who?
The great Barry Sanders.
The great Barry Sanders. So, you have to look at that, and then you think to yourself, all right, well, sure, we could address left tackle. But Backus, as bad as he is better than the hodgepodge of right tackles that we had last year. So we definitely needed a right tackle. And when you have a quarterback like Kitna, you need to have protection evenly from all sides of the ball. So I really like it. It fit in well. When watching the tapes, Gosder Cherilus to me is a much more competent
tremendous upside too.
Huge upside.
He's a big guy.
And he's just huge.
6'6", 314. That's a big frame. I believe that he's also a developmental guy. He's gonna not have his best year his rookie year. He's not gonna be able to step in and be a great tackle like Jake Long or Joe Thomas or a Joe Staley. But
Joe Staley, nice.
But he will. I believe turn out to be one of the better. I think he will eventually be the best tackle on that line. Even though he may struggle his first year, I will tell you, anything will be better than George Foster.
I don't know. He's pretty good.
So
I was pretty excited about it. Maybe we should move Peterman over there, huh?
Maybe we should try to keep those false start penalties down this year.
Just a little bit.
So
3 in a row.
I like the Dizon pick a lot. I think I've been watching the film of him. He reminds me of a faster, maybe a little bit more athletic Stephen Boyd, which is ironic because he will be wearing number 57 this year.
Very nice.
So
very nice.
The Lions have they've had some great middle linebackers in the past with Chris Spielman and Stephen Boyd, and so I think that this guy will be the next great player. He's not tremendously fast, and he's not incredibly big, but the one thing that I've noticed about him is he's got great instincts, and he knows where he's got to be, and he has an eye for the ball. And in the Tampa 2 offense, the middle linebacker has got to be. It doesn't have to make all the plays. He just has to know. He just has to be smart.
Let Ernie Sims take care of business over there.
Exactly. And Paris Lennon. Where's he going to fit?
Oh, baby! This is why I love this pick so much. Paris Lennon's going to move over to the weak side. He's going to play weak side for us for a little while, which we will talk about our very last pick in the draft. A guy that I do believe will play strong side linebacker. I'm sorry, I said Paris weak side. He'll play strong side for us. A guy that I do believe will play strong side linebacker for us in the next 5 years.
All right, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. But the other thing about Dizon, they compare him to Spielman, and I am definitely okay with that. Great college linebacker, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-American. I mean, the guy does a good job. He's great in zone coverage in Tampa 2.
Exactly, it's all zone, so that'll be great. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in with the rest of the offense.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely.
Or the defense, I should say. And then Kevin Smith, I really like this pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he was the best running back available at that time. I would have liked to see us maybe get Ray Rice, but he was taken with the last pick, one of the last picks in the second round.
Yes.
I think Kevin Smith will be a great complement to Tatum Bell. I don't know if I want to see him get the bulk of the carries in his freshman year or his rookie year. Mm-hmm. I would like to see him maybe split time with Tatum Bell. Tatum Bell is you don't want to call him a proven back in the league, but he's taken a lot of snaps. He's a 1,000-yard rusher with Denver in a zone blocking scheme, which the Lions will be installing that zone blocking scheme this year with their new offensive coordinator Jim Coletto, and so it'll be interesting to see. Also, one thing I think about the offensive line is that with the new blocking and the new offense, they won't be focusing pass protection all the time, and they won't have to be backpedaling. They'll be able to drive forward, which we didn't get to see a lot of, but when they did, when the Lions got on a roll running the ball last year, they were very effective.
We do have a better run blocking team.
And so
we really do.
So that's why I like this pick. I mean, Brian Calhoun is another guy. We didn't see a lot of him last year. He was out most of the year.
I'm excited about him.
So I think he could also factor into the equation. And then a speedster, Avion Kaysen. He's still on that team, too.
Very good.
So they've got a couple of great speed backs with Bell and Kaysen, and now they got Kevin Smith, who has some power, but he's not like Jerome Bettis or anything.
He's got enough speed and he's got enough power. He's not great in either one. He is a really good running back, though. I see him, and I see a combination of a lot of good running backs. He does a good job. He runs a little upright. He does, but that's okay because he's proven that he can take the hits. He had 450 carries last year alone. Right. I mean, he's not going to get that many carries as a line this year, I can guarantee you that.
No, absolutely
Now,
not.
There's bigger players, bigger hits, but he can take them.